Vandeham Shri Guru Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsam.
Hare Krishna everyone, welcome back to yet another fascinating episode of Paripraśna, that is the 52nd episode. So today we are intending to cover 31st chapter of Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So as you are probably already aware, from chapters 25 to 33, a good amount of 9 chapters discuss Devahuti and Kapila Dev Samvada, the conversation between Kapila Muni and his glorious mother Devahuti. So they've been discussing about various things about Bhakti Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. And in the previous chapter, there was this very vivid description given of a materialist who suffers all his life trying to mitigate the miseries but unsuccessful. And just before his death, also due to old age and disease, he suffers like anything. And then the death itself is such a painful experience. And because of all the immoral activities that he has committed during his life, that he's taken to these various hellish planets, and in such hellish conditions, he suffers in a very, very horrible way. And today we will begin at that point where Kapila Dev very nicely, in a logical way, continues this discussion. What happens to that jiva after suffering so much? He is placed in the womb of yet another mother. So we have a lot to cover, although we are going to discuss just one chapter, but there is so much ground to cover. So let's go ahead and continue to inquire and learn from His Holiness Bhakti Padma Saurav Pracharak Swami Maharaj. So Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
So Maharaj, before we actually get into this chapter, in the last episode, you had told us how chapters 30, 31 and 32, what is being discussed here is in chapter 30, a jiva who is in the mode of ignorance. He has committed all kinds of sinful activities, immoral activities, because of which he suffers in hell. And in this chapter, which we intend to cover today, 31st chapter, the jiva in the mode of passion. Although he is kind of moral, but he is still not religious, and he also suffers by taking another human birth. And then in the next chapter, that is chapter number 32, jiva in the mode of goodness. There he is religious, but he also suffers by going to heaven, or although he takes a human birth in a religious way, he also suffers. So all three are suffering. So three types of non-devotees. So if someone like me, without the guidance of a devotee like you, if I were to just go through these chapters, there is no way that I would understand these kinds of intricacies. Okay, this is the theme going on here. This is what is happening here. But of course, when I heard it from you, and this week when I was going through these chapters, my understanding was further enhanced. So, how do you get such insights? Because you are also reading the same Bhagavatam, and so are we, but how are you able to get such intricate details?
So the Bhagavatam itself says that. That is in the last sections of Bhagavatam, 12th canto, there is a very beautiful verse which says, Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamalam Puranamalam Yadvaishnavanam Priyam Yasmin Paramhamsam Jnanam Param Giyate Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Saitam Naishkarmyamavishkritam Tachrinvan Subatan Vicharana Paro Bhaktya Vimucche Naraha. So Tachrinvan first has to be heard, and then Supatan, then it has to be studied. So you should not read Bhagavatam, you should study Bhagavatam. And then Vicharana Paro, then Vichara. Vichara has to be done.
Okay.
When you do the contemplation, then the knowledge transforms into realization. So instead of just go on reading it, you should study. Like a student would study for the examinations. In the same way, one should study Srimad Bhagavatam. So when you study Bhagavatam, it is not just the time you spend while studying, and that study is actually food for thought for the whole day, contemplation. And that contemplation leads to realizations. And of course, they are there, but in the commentaries, in the verses itself. But it requires a careful study, minute analysis. So that reveals these intricate points. They are intricate. They're not intricate in the sense that they're not there. It is there. It is only that how much conscious we are while we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam number 1, and how many times we have heard about the particular section or the verse from different devotees. And ultimately, most important is how much we are meditating on that, our vichara. We are doing contemplation on this. So then you do the contemplation, then it happens. Yeah.
Nice, very nice, Maharaj. So we'll get into the chapter, Maharaj. So chapter 31 titled Lord Kapila's Instructions on the Movements of the Living Entities. What does he mean when he say movements of the living entities?
So when you say movement, it means transferring from one body to another body, number 1. It also indicates that how in the womb of the living entity, a womb of a mother, how the living entity grows, that also is also known as movement, because both are described in this chapter. That is why it's the movement is being described here.
Get into the very first verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Karmana Daiva Netrena Jantur Deho Papattaye Striyah Pravishta Udaram Pumso Retakkanashrayah. The personality of Godhead said, under the supervision of the Supreme Lord and according to the result of his work, the living entity, the soul, is made to enter into the womb of a woman through the particle of male semen to assume a particular type of body. So Maharaj, trying to unpack this verse, the very first line says Karmana Daiva Netrena. So what is the interplay of karma, the free will, and Daiva Netra, divine will? So what is this interplay between free will and divine will, because of which this Jantu, the living entity, is placed in a particular mother's womb?
So the word Karmana Daivanetrena means Netrena. The word Netra means put into action. By whom? By Devas, but according to the previous karma. Devas don't do anything whimsically. There is no whimsical. Devas don't act whimsically. They see the karma of the living entity and then put that living entity in a particular body, in a particular place, in a particular family. Like when a living entity is born in a rich family, by birth only he is a millionaire. One living entity is born in a very poor family, by birth he is poor. So you may say, oh, birth doesn't matter, but it matters. Sometimes you will say birth doesn't matter. By birth somebody is a singer. A baby is born. Sometimes he has been a previous life, he'd been a singer. In this life also, even the cry is also very melodious. Yeah, I was in the flight yesterday. There was a baby crying, but the cry itself was so melodious. But there was one man who was sitting and blabbering a lot. That was so horrible to hear. Though he was talking something to his wife, some good things. But a baby's cry was better because the baby was a musician in the previous life. So, and it's all managed by the devatas. So that is why it is called Daiva Netrena. Daiva means the demigods under the supervision of the Lord and his team. And his team means the demigods. Krishna and his team, they manage everybody's karma. So very complicated. The human brain cannot understand why this person is suffering, why this person is enjoying. Such a horrible person, he is such a sinful person. Why is he enjoying? Why such people are getting positions? I'm not getting it. I did all things very nice in the examination, but I got less marks. The other person did not do study, but still I got highest percentage, but I did not get a job. This person who just has low percentage, he got job. So you cannot understand it. It is all Daivanetrana. It is by the it is guided under the under Krishna's and Krishna's team who manage our karma.
Okay. So in our biology classes, we were taught that how the child is born. Okay, there is this egg and sperm, and the conception happens, and then from that the whole embryology that is discussed. But however, here in the very first verse, it is said Reta Kanashrayaha, and Prabhupada is also emphasizing this in the purport. It is saying Prabhupada is saying here one word Reta Kanashrayaha is very significant because it indicates that it is not the semen of the man that creates life within the womb of a woman. Rather, the living entity, the soul, takes shelter in a particle of semen and is then pushed into the womb of a woman. Then the body develops. So, like this, Prabhupada is explaining. So, is it that the modern science, whether it's biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, whatever that is, they are aware of these things, but deliberately they are leaving out the spiritual aspect? Because here, Bhagavatam, right in the beginning, it is telling it is the spirit which is taking the shelter of the semen and injected into the womb. So, if you can just contrast this to this.
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada is a first revolutionary spiritual personality who was very heavy on the scientists, and then he was very concerned about why, in spite of such an evident thing that consciousness is present, still they would reject the presence of consciousness. And if you ask a scientist to explain consciousness, then they would say it is a result of the combination of chemicals. They would say that when the combination of the chemicals reaches to a certain level of complexity, then it gives rise to conscious symptoms. But it has never been seen like that. You cannot say when the bunch of chemicals put together, it gives rise to consciousness. So they say everything is a product of matter. Everything in this world is just matter. The periodic table talks about some chemicals, elements when they mix, and when the complexity of the chemical chemical combination increases to a certain level of complexity, it becomes consciousness. But there's no proof for it. So according to them, according to their own theory, they are defeated. Many theories, they are based on assumptions, number one, and they make some postulates, and then they do some research, and they come to some conclusion, and ultimately they talk about limitations. This is a standard system in science, even if you study science textbooks. So the biggest assumption which the scientists they assume that there is nothing else other than matter in this world. So based on that assumption, they build a huge building called science, and ultimately it collapses when you ask this question about consciousness. When you talk about time, space, and consciousness, they are flabbergasted. They have no idea. If you ask the science, when did the time start? That clock, tuck, 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 going on. When did it start? Do you have any idea? No idea. Now tell me, where is the end of the universe? Okay, they say this is the end of the universe. What is beyond that? Do you have any idea? No idea. So then you ask, when I slap you, why you feel pain? No idea, no idea. When I slap I kick a football. Football doesn't feel the pain. And I kick you, you feel the pain. Why? No, the football doesn't have consciousness. And you have consciousness. And don't tell me, explain what is consciousness. No, I have no idea. So when you go to a doctor, you ask the doctor, how is my grandmother? She's unconscious. After a couple of days, you ask, how is she? She came back to consciousness. So he is using these words and ask him what is consciousness? And no, I have no idea. After studying 5 years of medicine and super specialty, super specialty, another 5 years, and practice of 10 years, he's seeing babies are born and people are dying, and there is no explanation. What is birth? What is death? They have zero idea, because the whole science is based on assumption that there is nothing else other than matter. If you accept there is consciousness, then they have to study Bhagavatam. That is when you study Bhagavatam, then you have to accept Krishna as God. When you accept Krishna as God, then you have to serve Krishna. You have to follow 4 regulative principles, and they'll be caught up being a devotee. and they cannot do anything what comes to their mind. They cannot do sense enjoyment. So for them to do sense enjoyment, then they have to accept that there is nothing like consciousness. Otherwise, there's no way that they have to become devotees and then follow four regulative principles. So they want to drink alcohol, and then they want to do all kinds of illicit activities. Then they don't want to have scriptures. So how do you reject scripture? By saying no God, no soul, no consciousness. So if you reject consciousness, then you can reject soul, you can reject God, you can reject everything. So that's how they say no consciousness. Consciousness is only a symptom of the chemical combinations and the electromagnetic radiations which come out of the blood flow in your cells, in the nerves, that leads to some kind of emotions. Yeah. So that is a big problem in modern science, which has to be. Yeah.
Okay. So Maharaj, what follows is very, I would say detailed, but just in a few verses, very comprehensive description of embryology. So here Kapila Devi is going to say on the first night, the semen and the blood mix. And then the fifth night, it takes the size of a bubble. Then after 10 days, it takes the size of a badari fruit, ball of flesh. Then second month, the head, arms, legs, and other limbs develop. Then third month, the nails, hair, bones, and skin develop. Fourth month, 7 dhatus develop. Fifth month, hunger and thirst develop. Sixth month is covered by skin. Then seventh month, consciousness. And the eighth, ninth, 10th month, the perfection happens. The baby is ready to be delivered. So, in your classes in Bhagavatam, usually in your Bhagavata Saptaha, especially right in the beginning, you chant these prayers of Sanatana Goswami, where one of the lines says, Prema Varshaksharayate. Every akshara, every letter of Bhagavatam showers prema, Krishna prema. So when we study embryology, cosmology in the fifth canto, genealogy, all these different. So how is my study of embryology in the verses of Bhagavatam actually a shower of Krishna prema?
Yes. It is a shower of Krishna prema. Now, prema means what? Prema means love. And when you love someone, then you are interested in every detail. It is not that I'm only interested in some parts of the person, other parts I'm not interested. So this material world is a detail of Krishna's engineering, Krishna's biology, Krishna's anatomy, and Krishna's sociology and political science. So all the sciences come from Krishna. That is why Bhagavad Gita Krishna says that I am the knowledge, I am the object of knowledge. From me everything comes. Matta smriti jnana bhavohancha. And sarve vedes sarve rahamedyo. From all the Vedas I am to be known. And all the sa sarvavid vaitimam sarvabhavena. So sa sarvavid, one who knows Krishna, he knows everything. Everything means what? Every aspect of knowledge. So why? Because all the knowledge comes from him. All the knowledge comes from Krishna. So to know material science is actually to know Krishna's expertise in these different aspects of science. So just imagine how intelligent is Krishna.
Yes.
To create these systems. Can any human brain create this? Forget about creating. No human brain is not even able to understand it.
Yeah.
It's already been created, not even able to understand.
Yeah.
That shows how Krishna is so wonderful, so great. Pashyame Yogam Ishwaram. In the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about Pashya, see, my Yogam Ishwaram. What is the Yogam Ishwarya? It is his connection with this world. How Krishna deals with this world. How Krishna creates this world. How Krishna maintains this world. And how Krishna, he destroys this world. How Krishna deals with. That is the interesting subject matter. because that is connected to Krishna. Anything connected to Krishna is interesting. How Krishna deals with matter, especially birth, is amazing. Baby is born. So many babies are born. Not only humans, everywhere. You put a seed, the tree, the plant is born, and you have another seed. Karela seed you put, it is bitter gourd. It tastes bitter. And the same next to that you put a papaya seed. Then what happens? It gives sweet papaya. Same water, same earth. How is this variety coming out? This variety is coming out because Krishna's expertise in botany. How these 84 lakh species. You have monkey, different way. You have crocodile. You have every insect. Now there is something called modern science also accepts the biodiversity. If you have one species, then if you remove one species from the planet, the whole ecosystem will be destroyed. So who is managing? Who set up this ecosystem? Even a mosquito has its significance, has its importance. Even the frogs have its importance. Krishna has created all of them. So you know how Krishna is the ultimate engineer and ultimate doctor, ultimate botanist, zoologist, cosmologist. That's how you love Krishna. Like when you love someone, and you come to know that he's just not only a good person, but he's also a very great doctor. Your appreciation for him increases. When you come to know, he's not only a doctor, he also has a knowledge of mathematics. Oh, in spite of being a doctor, he's a great mathematician. Oh, he's not only a good knowledge of mathematics, he's a good linguist. He knows so many languages. Then the appreciation for the person increases to the extent you know more about his capabilities, his art, his intelligence, his capabilities. So that is how you appreciate Krishna. And love for Krishna increases by studying all these things.
Wonderful. Very nice. So not only is the baby developing, there is a very nice description. It's like really shakes us up in terms of how the baby is actually suffering inside the womb. So I'm jumping to the 5th verse here. Matur jagdhannapanadyair edadhatur asammate shete vinmutrayorgarte sajantur jantu sambhave. Deriving its nutrition from the food and drink taken by the mother, the fetus grows and remains in that abominable residence of stools and urine, which is the breeding place of all kinds of worms. And going further, 6th verse translation. Bitten again and again all over the body by the hungry worms in the abdomen itself, the child suffers terrible agony because of his tenderness. He thus becomes unconscious moment after moment because of the terrible condition. Owing to the mother's eating bitter, pungent foodstuffs or food which is too salty or too sour, the body of the child incessantly suffers pains which are almost intolerable. So, like this, all this description, and also here in the purport, 7th verse, it is said, because his consciousness is not very developed, the child can tolerate it, otherwise, he would die. That is the benediction of Maya, who endows the suffering body with the qualifications for tolerating such terrible tortures. So, and here also in the 6th verse purport, maybe just one or two lines I'll read. The miserable condition of material existence is not only felt when we come out of the womb of the mother, but is also present within the womb. So Maharaj, it really shakes us up when we read such sections. I really wonder why Krishna makes us forget this. It'll be better if he makes us remember how much we actually suffered inside the womb. Yeah, I think that will become a great impetus, strong impetus for taking up Krishna consciousness more seriously.
Yeah. The sufferings in this world are meant to make us Krishna conscious. Like the mother or sometimes beat the child, but the purpose is not to give suffering. The purpose is to make the child understand and be serious about his studies or his behavior, etc. The same way, the sufferings in this world are actually mercy of Krishna. So when we understand the sufferings in this world is mercy of Krishna, that is called self-realization.
So why does Maya make us forget it? Like right now, I don't remember how much I actually suffered in my mother's womb. I wish I did remember.
Why Maya makes forget? That's an important question. It is because you have a still desire to enjoy. For example, you have a nice, wonderful feast in front of you, and you're hungry also. But at that time, you remember all those people have insulted you, all those people who have made fun of you, and all the stomach aches and headaches you had at that time. Can you enjoy your meal?
No way.
So you have to forget suffering to enjoy. So since we have a desire to enjoy, and Maya makes us forget the suffering. So that's the thing. That is why dukkha doshanu darshanam. Krishna says one of the aspects of knowledge is dukkha doshanu darshanam, constantly having darshan of dukkha.
I like how this word was used here in one of the verses, sahodara. So I understood, oh, it is saha udara. So the worms are the brothers of the child, the fetus. In one of the shlokas here in the 10th verse it is coming, Arabhya saptaman masa labda bodho pivepitaha naikatraste sutivater vishthabur iva sodaraha. Thus endowed with the development of consciousness from the 7th month after his conception, the child is tossed downward by the airs that press the embryo during the weeks preceding delivery. Like the wombs born of the same filthy abdominal cavity, he cannot remain in one place. So how the child and the worms in the womb are sahodara, they are born together, brothers. And then Prabhupada in the purport is writing, this is universal brotherhood. So what a connection.
Yes, these are all Bhakti Vedanta purports.
Yes, unparalleled.
So Prabhupada, every verse in the Bhagavatam has 3 levels of understanding, or 3 applications in one sense. So using the word levels, so you 3 applications. One is to this world and us, how the verse is related to us and this world. Number 2, how the verse is related to the previous verse in that particular context, in the next verse, in that whole chapter. What is its connection and what the etymological meaning of the particular verse. And the third one is how that verse is connected to Krishna. So this is known as the 3 understandings of the Bhagavatam verses. That is Adi Bhutika, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika, and Adi Daivika. Adi Bhautika means this verse connection with the world. Like the word Sahodara. It means what? This verse, the womb, the worms are also your brothers and sisters. So it is not good that you kill animals because they are your brothers and sisters. And you go to Adi Atmika aspect of the verse. That is why this word has been used there. What's its connection with the previous verse? The connection is to explain the gravity of the suffering. That you have these worms as your brother, that means they're staying with you. So it's by default that the suffering is so much. So to enhance the subject matter's meaning, to bring out emphasis on what has been spoken before in the previous verses, and not only the seriousness of the pain, but also the obnoxious nature of the pain. So that is how you explain this verse when it comes to the context of the previous verse. When it comes to Krishna, just see, instead of staying with Krishna, how much enjoyment of been there. When you stay with Krishna, you would have been happy. And forgetting Krishna, you are with this with these worms.
Mm.
So you take the same verse, explain three levels.
Mm.
One in connection with Krishna, that the Adi Daivika, and the contextual meaning in connection with the verse, previous words, and that verse in the context of the subject matter.
Mm.
And the other one is the world. Srila Prabhupada concentrates or explains in his own purpose about how this verse has something to do with us and this world, the Adi Bhautika. So then when you practice certain principles based on the Adi Bhautika understanding of the verse, you come to a level of Sattva Guna where you are able to understand the Atma of the verse, the etymological meaning of the verse, the theology aspect of it. So when you contemplate and meditate on the theological aspect of the verse, because you're in Sattva Guna, then sanjayate jnanam. What is that jnana? The jnana is nothing but prema tattva. So in this way, we have this flow. Srila Prabhupada is addressing people more of passion and ignorance practically. So everybody asks, hey, what has got to do with me? What this verse has got to do with me? What this verse has got to do with this world? So they are not able to relate that verse to themselves. So Srila Prabhupada addresses the Adi Bhautika aspect of the verse so that we can relate. When you relate and then execute your life according to the teachings, what the verse gives, then you gradually elevate to Sattva-guna, where you are able to understand the intricacies, the grammatical aspects, the connections, the different meanings of the verse, the contextual aspect of the verse. And then comes prema. That's how it is.
Brilliant, Maharaj. That's really fantastic how you explain the different levels. I'm definitely going to carry that forward as I study the different verses. So, Maharaj, jumping back to the 9th verse, I'll just quote the translation here. The child thus remains just like a bird in a cage without freedom of movement. At that time, if the child is fortunate, he can remember all the troubles of his past 100 births and he grieves wretchedly. What is the possibility of peace of mind in that condition? So, wow, he's suffering so much. It's such a horrible condition. But yet, if the child is fortunate, he can remember all the troubles of his past 100 births. So, who is this fortunate child who can remember the past 100 births in the womb of his mother?
Yeah, the fortunate child. Actually, in the further verses, this comes only a child who has done some devotion in the previous life, praise these kind of praise which are going to come in the further verses.
Yes.
So it is not because of fortune the child remembers the previous 100 verses, 100 births. The fortune is that he remembers those 100 births and experiences that I'm suffering. Oh Lord, now I want to get out of it. I want to become a devotee. I want to perform devotion. So it is talking about that child who has got the fortune of devotion. And the fortune is not that he is able to remember 100 births. The fortune is that he's going to do the prayers which are going to come in the further verses. So one should not think, oh, what a great fortune that child has remembered 100 births. That is not the fortune. The fortunate child is because of his previous bhakti. Yeah. And the fortune is that he is able to pray to Krishna. And that by default has remembered those 100 births. That is the thing.
Okay. So there is a distinction. So only the jiva who has performed some devotion is able to come to the state, realize the suffering and then pray, but non-devotees will not.
Yeah, non-devotees may remember their previous birth, 100 births or 1000 births or no birth. That is not the subject. The subject is prayer.
Yeah.
The prayers which are done or described now in the further verses, that is only done by a child or a baby who has done devotion in the previous life.
Okay. So we'll get into the prayers, Maharaj. So 11th was the living entity in this frightful condition of life, bound by 7 layers of material ingredients, prays with folded hands, appealing to the Lord who has put him in that condition. So before we get into the prayers, just one thing here. So the child within the womb, which is barely 7 months old and his consciousness is developed, and he is praying with folded hands. That means there is no restriction for performing bhakti. Even a child in the womb is performing bhakti.
Yes. Prahlad performed bhakti in his womb. When he heard what all being spoken by Narada to his mother Kayadu. And Dhruva Maharaj did his bhakti in his childhood. And Ambarish did it in youth. And Ajamil did it during his old age. And Chitraketu did it in hell. So bhakti is transcendental and is not dependent on any time, place, and circumstance. It is not dependent. It is all dependent on the individual. There is no reason for non-performance of bhakti. Even a person in totally unconscious stage also can perform bhakti. Think of Krishna.
Okay. So this prayer, very, very beautiful section. Janturuvacha tasyopasannam avitum jagadikshayata nanatanordhuvichalarcharanarvindam soham vrajami sharanam yakuto bhayam me yene drishi gatiradarshya sato nurupa. The human soul says, I take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who appears in his various eternal forms and walks on the surface of the world. I take shelter of him only because he can give me relief from all fear, and from him I have received this condition of life which is just befitting my impious activities. So, Maharaj, in the Bhagavatam, there are so many prayers, different devotees, and this prayer is Jantu. So, the human soul is praying. So, just like you had said, Kunti Maharani's prayers have certain significance, Gajendra's prayers have certain significance. What is the significance of the prayer of human soul in these verses?
The significance is very simple, that we carry philosophical significance. We carry bhakti from the previous life to this life. This is the first significance. And from the point of view of Krishna consciousness, these prayers are actually supposed to be reminding us that you have done these prayers in the womb, but you forgot. We promised Krishna that when I come out from the womb of the mother, I'll worship you. I'll chant your glories. So these prayers are for everyone, and reminding us about what promise you took when you were in the womb of your mother. Now when you came out, you forgot, being lost in the affection of these people around you. You forgot your affection for Krishna. You forgot the promise which you had done to Krishna. So that's a special significance of these prayers. Okay. That is to remind us what we have promised to Krishna in the womb of our mother.
Okay. So Prabhupada, right in the first line of the purport, he says, the word Chalat Charanara refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead who actually walks or travels upon the surface of the world. So can you just say something about this, Maharaj? Chalat Charanara.
See, the charana of the Lord, they are chalat. What does that mean? The lotus feet of Krishna, they are chalat, they move around earth. They move. That is why Vraj is called Vraj, because Vajati means go moving. The Supreme Lord, he walks on this earth, especially walked in Vrindavan with barefoot. So it is referring to all the pastimes of Krishna. So walking on earth refers to Krishna's appearance on this earth and doing all the pastimes of Vrindavan. And also Attanana Tanoho, and he acts in many forms. It means that he takes different incarnations. So in this way, the living entity is remembering the appearance of Krishna, and also the pastimes of Krishna, and also pastimes of the different incarnations of Krishna. And he says, somehow I have an opportunity to remember you even in the womb.
Mm.
Ene drishi gatir adashya asato nurupa. Though I am in the womb, because I'm in the womb, why? Because I'm a sinful person.
Mm.
I would have not been in the womb if I had been performed devotional service and perfected my life in the previous life itself. The very fact, what is the proof that I'm a sinful person? That I got this body. Why at all I had to take birth? Because I had done sinful activities and I had not perfected my life in the previous life.
Mhm.
So, uh, with the humble mood, the living entity, he says that I'm sinful. That is, what is the proof of my sin? The very fact that I'm in the womb. That's my sin.
Mm.
At the same time, I'm very fortunate to attain your mercy. What is mercy? That I'm able to remember you. That's your mercy.
Mm.
So even a sinful person like me, uh, you made that sinful person allow him, or making that sinful person remember you. That is your
Mm.
mercy. That's the mode in which Jantu is praying here.
Mm. Mm. Okay. So in the next verse, he recognizes another individual who is there. So let's see that. I, the pure soul, appearing now bound by my activities, am lying in the womb of my mother by the arrangement of Maya. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him who is also here with me, but who is unaffected and changeless. He is unlimited, but he is perceived in the repentant heart. To him I offer my respectful obeisances. So how nicely the Jiva is recognizing, oh, here is another Jiva, that is Paramatma, and he's offering obeisances, and he's saying he is perceived in the repentant heart. So whose heart is a repentant heart? Who is the only one who can actually perceive the presence of Paramatma?
So the repentance starts like this when the jiva, he understands his position of being very sinful, number one. In that sinful position also, he remembers the mercy of the Lord is making me to pray to him or think of him. And at the same time, feeling that because of my sinful activity, I'm not able to have your darshan. So there is a viraha aspect in it. So this jiva is actually experiencing viraha from Krishna. So when he experiences viraha of Krishna, I'm not able to have your darshan, I'm not able to have your darshan, I'm not able to have your darshan. At the same time, the jiva, he starts thinking, meditating. When there is viraha, there is also a remembrance, smaran of Krishna's pastimes. So Krishna's pastimes is constant remembering Krishna's pastime. Though I'm sinful, but still Krishna's pastime, I'm able to remember Krishna's pastime. So that is the speciality of the second. He says, I pay my respects unto you. Yastu atra baddha iva karmabir avritatma. Avritatma, I am bound by karmas. And I'm completely bound by the material mind senses. But at the same time, oh Lord, you are able to, you are also there along with me in the same body, but you are not. Uh, in my heart, you are there. As Paramatma, you are there, but you are not bound. But at the same time, a special mercy is that I'm able to perceive you. I'm able to perceive you. So in this way, the jiva, he expresses his dainya. Dainya means humility. At the same time, he feels that because of Krishna's mercy, that I am able to remember him, remember his pastimes. So both are there. That is called dependence. Dependence means to know you are sinful, at the same time to appreciate the mercy of Krishna. That's called dependence.
So Maharaj, on this repeated emphasis on the mercy of the Lord, see, even for somebody like us, even ordinary parents, when they see their children suffering, it is very, very painful. They may suffer themselves, but to see the suffering of their child is extremely painful for a parent. And here, one is Paramatma is a constant companion. Even within the womb, the moment of the conception, the Paramatma is also, wherever the Jantu is going, the Paramatma is also coming. So, on one hand, we say he is so merciful, he's so compassionate. But on the other hand, he's right there along with the Jantu and he's seeing him suffer so much. For us, just to read this is like so painful to even see how much this Jantu is suffering. How a loving father like Krishna, the Supreme Father Krishna in the form of Paramatma, how can he actually witness that his own child, Mamai Vamsho, you are my part and parcel, and that part and parcel is suffering, and the Paramatma is witnessing all this. So, how can we reconcile this compassion of Paramatma along with him actually witnessing the suffering of the Jiva and allowing him to suffer like this?
No, Paramatma knows the real suffering is what? What is the real suffering of the Jiva? The forgetfulness of Paramatma is the suffering of the Jiva. And the suffering, what is being described here, is actually not the suffering of the Jiva.
Mm.
And for an ignorant person, he may feel that this is suffering. But actual suffering is forgetfulness of of Krishna.
Mm.
Like I know a patient recently I met.
Mm.
So then I asked him, what is your problem? He said, I'm not able to eat anything. Then I told, why you're not able to eat? I don't know, some stomach pain is there, but I'm not able to eat. That's the biggest problem. So then I told him, why don't you go to a doctor and then get it checked. I gave him both, go to allopathy also, Ayurveda also, check. And then he came out with the report and he told, oh, I got a report. I said, what happened? Then he said, there's a big tumor in my stomach.
Oh.
So just say, his problem is the tumor, but he was thinking, my problem is that I'm not able to eat. The doctor would solve the problem of the tumor by doing an operation so that he can eat properly. So when the doctor says tells the patient, see, whole day you should not eat, you take only liquids. He says, my problem is I'm not able to eat and you're making me suffer more by saying don't eat, don't even eat anything. Whatever little bit I could eat, you're not even allowing that also. No, you have to clear, if you want to eat properly, the tumor should go. And for the tumor to go, you need operation. So use operation. The suffering is nothing but the operation. Like when person is he has stomach problem, he has pain. But when the doctor cuts the stomach, there is more pain. What is that more pain for? To remove the real root cause of the problem, that is the tumor. So that is how one has to understand. This pain which Krishna is giving to the living entity is actually it is his real mercy. As I told in the previous statement also, every aspect of the misery in this world, if it is recognized as Krishna's mercy, that is how you are actually on the path of self-realization.
Okay. So here we see when this Jantu is praying, in the 17th verse, he's saying, fallen into a pool of blood, stool, and urine within the abdomen of his mother, his own body scorched by the mother's gastric fire. The embodied soul, anxious to get out, counts his months and prays, O my Lord, when shall I, a wretched soul, be released from this confinement? So here he is not able to tolerate so much pain. Jataragni is burning him, all these things he's telling, when will I get released from this confinement? And the same Jantu, very soon after that, he's going to say, I don't want to come out. Because if I come out, then Maya will, Chapatiya Maya Dare, it will catch me by the illusion, so I better stay here only. So this perplexity, like even Shukadeva Goswami, 16 years he stayed in the womb. His father was praying, why are you not coming out? Please come out. He also said, I'm scared of Maya. Unless I get assurance from Krishna, I'm not coming out. So if you can throw some light on this perplexity, on one is like, when am I going to get released? On the other hand is like, I don't want to come out.
Yeah, this prayers which are done by these Jantu, they are a bewilderment, an expression of one's bewilderment. When the pain is there is bewilderment. So the Jantu is expressing his bewilderment first by saying that I just want to come out. I just want to come out. I just want to come out. I'm just counting my months.
Mm.
8th month, 9th month has come. Now the 10th month, I just come out. And he says, I am Kripanadhi. I am very less intelligent uh, because I'm just thinking of my happiness and my distress.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking this is giving me distress. So once I come out, I'll become happy. And I'm relieved from this distress. So that is why I pray to the Lord that I want to come out so that I can be happy. I want to get out of this womb, which is so miserable. And once I come out of this world, then out of this womb, then I'll be happy. Then he remembers, when I come out of this world, that is actually more miserable. The change of misery is not going to make any difference.
Mm.
Like somebody is suffering in India, and then he thinks that I get out of India, go to America, I'll become very happy. But there will be other suffering will come.
Yeah.
Like recently, I was in the US embassy in Chennai.
Uh-huh.
So I was waiting for my turn to come to the interview.
Yeah.
There's one lady with a mother with 2 children,
Mm.
and there's an interview. Some questions were being asked, and there was so desperation to get that visa, and somehow her visa got rejected.
Oh.
And she was crying. The children also stand. What's happening to our mother? Because she's thinking, once I go to America, I'll become happy. It is foolishness.
Yeah.
Material world is like that only. You're just changing one situation of misery to other situation of misery is not going to make you happy. So this Jantu start thinking the same thing. I'm miserable in the womb. So then I'll get out of the womb, then I'll become happy. Later on, while doing the prayers, he understands, no. I am doing devotion now. I'm doing bhakti. I'm thinking of you. Better I'm like this only. I don't want to come out, because once I come out, these worms which are around me, making me remember Krishna. When I come out, they're bigger worms, mother, father, and other. They'll make me forget Krishna. So better I be in this condition, remember the Lord, rather than coming out. So it's a progression of prayer.
Yeah. So Maharaj, while we are on this topic, so there is the devotee soul who is able to remember like this and praying, and there are non-devotee souls. That means there are souls with different karma baggage. So what is the place of Garbhadana Samskara where the parents can actually attract a nice pious soul?
Yeah, sanskaras are done so that the Garbha will attract a soul who is pious, who is dharmika, and who is within the varnashrama, dharma, he follows dharma. So that is how Garbhadana Sanskara is required. See, these sanskaras are material. They are not spiritual. But they will definitely make a sattvika, a person more of sattva would enter that womb. But that doesn't mean the karma of the parents would change by doing some sanskaras. They are going to experience a particular kind of karma which they are supposed to experience by the birth of a particular kind of child. But that sanskara creates a background for the child to accept transcendental knowledge.
Okay.
Sattva Sattam sanjayate jnanam. So that's the purpose of the sanskaras. The purpose of sanskaras is to bring you to sattva so that you can accept transcendental knowledge. That's the purpose of sanskara.
Okay. And just one more thing before we move beyond the prayers of the Jantu. So the abortion, because the spiritual aspect in conception is taken away. So we think, many people think that killing the child in the womb is okay. But here we see right from the moment of conception, the life is there, soul is there. So it is extremely sinful. So millions of babies being killed in the womb of the mother, saying that pro-choice, especially just now you talked about U.S. Embassy. Every single election in America, this is the main contention. Are you pro-life or pro-choice? People are casting their vote based on their presidential candidate, if they are pro-choice or pro-life. And many women are pro-choice. That means it's my body, it is my choice to decide to what I want to do. If I want to kill the child, I will. So what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, this is the biggest crime on the planet, which is going on. Number two is killing cows. These are two crimes: killing the babies in the womb and killing the cow. Because of that, the whole world is suffering. All the wars are happening because of these two crimes being committed. And when bus falls into a ditch, 50 people die. When an aircraft crashes and about 250 people die, and the news comes that 250 innocent people died.
Mm.
How can you say that they are innocent? Uh, very difficult, very outrageous to say they are innocent, because you are serving beef in the plane, and why don't you put the news? 1,000 innocent cows were killed.
Wow.
When it comes to abortion, when I had joined Mira Road, ISKCON 1997, at the time Bhakti Hospital was also opened in front of our temple in Mira Road. There's one doctor, Patil. So he's a very senior person, very old person. Somehow he had some kind of a sakya.
Mm.
He was the person who invented this special kind of abortion, which can be done very easily. Something. He was in the family commission group or with award, big awards. And Bhakti Rasal Maharaj, at that time, Devamrit Prabhu, he preached to him and he made him understand this abortion is crime.
Mm.
Then he changed. He became very remorse that I have done so many abortions. Not only done, but I've encouraged the doctors to make this abortion process very easy and then convenient. So then he joined Bhakti Hospital and then started this campaign of anti-abortion campaign. And every week, practically 5 to 6 doctors in the entire area of Mumbai, they would come and surrender their machines, which should kill babies.
Mm.
So it was a big thing which happened in the initial days of. One, he used to show a video. It's so horrible, that video is, but it's truth. That's how the baby cries when those instruments go inside the womb and then they kill and then they suck the flesh out. Oh, it's horrible. The silent cry, the video is silent cry. Just when he wanted to show that video, he showed me video. I could not tolerate because I want to show it in the Sunday Feast program. I told no, it's very horrible. Then he begged me. Then I told, this is not the video to be shown in a temple. People are already pious. Then I told, you don't know that even your own devotees are getting abortion done. And he named a few, and I told, keep it confidential. I was shocked. Shocked. So the biggest crime which is happening on this planet. And he told the figures. He said in Mumbai at that time, it was 1998 or 99, 45,000 abortions are done every day. 45,000 murders are done every day officially. It's unofficial, you just cannot imagine how much it is, he said. That means every day 45,000 minimum babies are killed in Mumbai itself. Then what to speak of the entire Maharashtra, entire India, entire world. Now when you get suffering as a reaction, you say, oh. So coming back to the point of my body, my choice, then if that is the case, my body, my choice, Then Krishna says, okay, my word, my choice. They give the same reactions. So if you leave it's the choice, individual's choice, then where is the question of family? It is not choice. Human life is meant for sacrifice. Then only we can be happy. When four people stay together, it is not the question of choice. There's one TV in the house and it's saying, my choice, my choice, my choice. So you don't have choice actually. Yeah. There's no question of any choice. To think that I have choice, I have independence, that is the biggest illusion. Biggest illusion. If everything happens according to your choice, then you're God. Actually, even nothing happens according to the choice of God also, because Krishna wants that everybody should become his devotee. That's also not happening. When nothing is happening according to God's choice, Krishna's choice, then what to speak of you? If you choose to perform sin, then the reactions would come. Yes, the choice is always there. You're driving a car and you have a choice to follow the rules of the traffic or not to follow the rules of traffic. The choice is there. But if you choose not to follow the rules of traffic, then you'll be caught and put in jail. You'll be fined. So Krishna is not reviewing your choice, but what you're choosing, that's important. It's your body, your choice. True. But what is the result of it? What is the consequence of it? Be aware of it. And then choose. Like you have a glass of milk and a glass of alcohol. You have a choice. Krishna gives you the choice. It's my money, my choice. But listen to the consequence of it. Just because you are not able to see the consequence, immediate consequences, just because you are unaware of the consequences, that doesn't mean the consequences would not affect you. So beware of the consequences, and the consequences are very horrible, very horrible, unimaginably horrible.
Thank you, Maharaj, for those words of caution. So one is free to choose, but however, they are not free from the consequence of their choice. So you're saying they will pay a very, very heavy price.
Yes.
Okay. So this Jantu is praying, and finally he is like, therefore, without being agitated anymore, I shall deliver myself from the darkness of nescience with the help of my friend, clear consciousness. Simply by keeping the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu in my mind, I shall be saved from entering into the wombs of many mothers for repeated birth and death. So he's making this promise that I will serve you. But however, like you already indicated, Kapila Dev is saying, then he is pushed outside of the mother's womb, the life air comes out. And then after that, again, we see the suffering is continuing beyond, after the delivery. So he wants to eat something, but the parents are giving him something else. Nobody is understanding what actually he needs. And then he goes to the school. There also assignments, examinations, so much suffering. He doesn't want to go, but he is pushed into it. And as he is growing older, also in adulthood, there also his desires are increasing, and he is not able to fulfill his desires. And then the lust thing, he's seeing other lusty individuals. He's also getting lusty. So Maharaj, if you can share briefly about his suffering beyond the womb once he's out.
There's nothing much to explain. Everybody's experiencing that.
Yeah.
So much of experience is there, especially the school.
Yes.
Was horrible.
Yeah.
Very horrible. It's one after the other. Now, this world is temporary to such an extent that the miseries are also temporary. One misery is temporary, another misery comes. The misery is also not permanent. What happens when one misery comes, somehow you get adjusted to it. Then what happens, because the world is temporary, this misery goes, and another misery comes. Then you have to get adjusted to other misery.
Yeah.
So by the time you get adjusted to the misery, that goes.
Mm.
Another misery comes.
Mm.
The whole thing, even if you want to compromise, the world will not let you compromise.
Mm.
Compromise means, okay, let us take it for granted. Okay, we have to live with it. But you have to live with one misery, fine. But that goes, and some other new thing comes.
Mm.
This way, the whole life goes and gets adjusting to one misery to other misery, one misery to other misery.
Mm.
So that is the reason the Jiva says that I have surrendered to your lotus feet.
Mm.
I have surrendered to your lotus. Do whatever you want, because Krishna told the Jiva, tell me what you want. Whether you want to stay in the womb, or you want to get out of the womb, or you want to do what you want, tell me. You want to stay in the womb or get out of the womb? Because you told first, I want to get out of the womb.
Yeah.
Then later on you prayed, I want to stay here only, Maya will catch me.
Mm.
So when Krishna asked that question to the Jiva says, Krishna asks, what have you decided? Which one? You want to stay or get out? Then he said, neither I want to stay, neither I want to get out.
Mm.
Neither I want to stay, neither I want to get out. I have only one desire, that I don't want to take another body again. I have to come back to your lotus feet. I have taken your shelter. Mame bhavishyad upasadati vishnupadaha. I don't want to be in this body which has got aneka randraha, many holes, 9 holes, the body of 9 holes. So I don't want to be born again like this. But I have taken shelter. Upaditaha, your lotus feet, Vishnupadaha, by hearing and remembering your names. I just want to be wherever, Marobi, Rakobi, Joichatumar, Grethaka, Vanethaka, wherever I am. I'm not bothered about where I want to be, whether I'm in the womb or not in the womb. You decide. But my desire is that I want to do bhakti. Nasta dharmena vasani chaive. When I either I want to, either I'm interested in dharma nor vasu. I have Vasuloka, nor riches. Neither I am interested in being heaven or hell. I'm not interested in any of these things. Whether heaven or hell, it doesn't matter to me. Whether in the womb or outside the womb, it doesn't matter to me. Because it is just a change of suffering, that's all. And I just want that I should remember you constantly. Aham vigata viklava uddharishya atma namasatanasaha. Sudrudatmaiva atmanaiva bhuyo yatha yasanam etad anekarandram. So bhuyo, again, I don't want to be in this body again. That's my only desire, by which I, so for that I'm surrendering it. You decide. That's what Shiva says.
So how unfortunate that he prayed so ardently that I want to serve you. But here, jumping to the 32nd verse, he is again going to hell. If therefore the living entity again associates with the path of unrighteousness, influenced by sensually minded people, engaged in the pursuit of sexual enjoyment and the gratification of the palate, he again goes to hell as before. So Sripad Shankaracharya also said, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare Shayanam. So he'll go to another mother's womb, hellish condition. Again, he's going to take birth. So here, Maharaj, in this context, why he takes birth again, why he goes to the hellish condition, here Kapila Dev is prominently talking about bad association. And in that bad association also, he's talking about associating with the opposite gender. So for the man, woman, for woman, man is Maya. So this is being repeatedly said here. And also, not only associating with the opposite gender, associating with those individuals who are associated with the opposite gender, this is also very degrading for the soul. So if you can talk about this bad association, especially of the opposite gender, so how is that Maya?
Yeah, the cause of bondage are many in this world, but the cause of bondage, in attachment with the opposite sex, that is a major cause, not only major, the root cause. Because when there is an attachment for an object of this world, you're attached to this world. Then what happens when you get frustrated? there is an aspect of detachment. But when the attachment is the opposite gender, then what happens? When you get frustrated, you want to detach. But because this person is also a person, conscious, he becomes attached and pulls you.
Mm.
When this person gets frustrated and want to get detached, this person pulls him.
Mhm.
So this is how the knot, one wants to lose, other becomes tight. Other wants to lose, becomes tight.
Mm. Mm.
So that's why very difficult to get out of this attachment of the opposite sex.
Mm.
That's what we can say about it.
Okay. Maharaj, I see usually, even in the devotee community, there are a lot of, lack of understanding in how to deal with the opposite gender. On one extreme, it's like extreme. I was once talking to somebody who didn't even look at my face. He was looking somewhere else and speaking. So maybe he thought that, woman is a Maya, I should not even look at her and things like that. That is one extreme. And the other extreme is that they're very frivolous in the way they deal is like very, very casual. So, but what is the proper way of dealing? So, in this case, a man not looking at me while he's speaking. So, similarly, women also may feel a certain way about men. So, what is the right way of dealing with the opposite gender?
So it's a very complicated subject matter, not complicated, very elaborate subject matter.
Mhm,
But the
mhm,
principle is that matrat paradhareshu. So apart from your own wife, then one is supposed to deal with every woman as a mother,
mhm,
because women are mother, and the woman also supposed to think I'm mother. Whereas the moment a woman thinks that I am a woman, the problem starts.
mhm,
The man thinks that she's a woman, the problem starts.
mhm.
So recently in Hyderabad, one movie, somebody has done already a movie
Uh-huh.
about to be released, and that is on how the women are committing crimes on their husbands. Somebody told me 20,000 men were killed by wives because of they having affection for some other men.
Oh.
So yeah, they made a movie on it.
Mm.
So they wanted me to give some prelude in Telugu. So
Uh-huh.
I just spoke this one important point. That is, the Vedic culture teaches how the man should see the other woman as not woman as mother, and the woman should not think herself as woman, but she should think of herself as mother,
Mm.
because there is no better position than being a mother.
Mm.
That is why the Veda says uh, that is Matru Deva Bhava.
Mm.
Then comes Pitru Deva Bhava, Acharya Deva Bhava, Aditya Deva Bhava. The motherhood is a very great position.
Mhm.
That is why when a small girl, I said many times, this all same thing I repeated to that
Mm.
film producer.
Uh-huh.
They took a video of me.
Mm.
I observed my grandfather, my childhood. There's one small girl, Sita.
Mm.
He's around 60, and like
Mm.
she's a granddaughter.
Mhm.
He addressed her. He wanted to call. Her name is Sita. In Telugu, he addressed her saying that Amma Sitamma Talli Idu Ramma.
Oh.
Should I just say Sita Idra?
Mm.
Sita, come here?
Mm.
Just have told because of the age.
Yeah.
But just imagine, he has used the word mother 4 times.
Yes. Yes.
So why? Because the culture is designed in such a way that you drill this aspect into every girl, 5-year-old girl, that you are not a girl,
Mm.
you are not a woman,
Mm.
you are mother, you are
Mm.
mother.
Mm.
And somehow I have seen this thing,
Mhm.
especially little girls, even at the age of 5 or 6, just they're 5 or 6, because of the culture, the Vedic culture.
Mm.
She has an elder brother, 10, 12-year-old brother, 7 years elder.
Mm.
But she would not eat till the elder brother would eat, and the brother would come serving. And some things very strange. Strange means in the sense that
Yeah.
the motherly aspect has been impregnated into her consciousness by the culture itself.
Mm.
And even elderly men would treat these small little girls as very great respect. 6, 7-year-old boys, they would not do that. They would just call the boys and slap them and do. But when it comes to girls, they would worship like Devi. They would not do speak any word, or act in such a way that she is displeased. But the boys, the Vyavahar is different. They would talk rough and tough. But when it comes to a girl child, immediately they're so careful about not to hurt her, because they treat her as Devi, as mother. The moment a woman thinks that I'm mother, all her problems are solved. Personal problems also, and universal problems are also solved.
Yeah.
Woman, she thinks I'm woman, then her problem starts. In the same way, if a man treats other one as a mother, then he'll be happy. That's the essence of it.
Beautiful, very beautiful, Maharaj. So right in the beginning of this discussion, you talked about the definition of birth and death. And towards the end of this chapter, Kapila Dev is doing just that. So he's talking about the end of a fruitive reaction is called death, and the beginning of fruitive reaction is called birth. And then towards the very end of this chapter, he says, therefore, one should not view death with horror, nor have recourse to defining the body as soul, nor give way to exaggeration in enjoying the bodily necessities of life. Excuse me. Realizing the true nature of the living entity, one should move about in the world free from attachment and steadfast in purpose. And the very last shloka, endowed with right vision and strengthened by devotional service and a pessimistic attitude towards material identity, one should relegate his body to this illusory world through his reason. Thus, one can be unconcerned with this material world. So, what is this right vision and the detachment that we should have to navigate this process of birth and death?
The right vision is not to be concerned neither about birth nor death, to be concerned whether Krishna conscious or not. So birth and death happens. Let it happen. Yadhavyam tadhavantu bhavat purva karmana rupam. Because the soul is neither born nor it dies. So neither you be so horrified because of death, because death is not for the soul. Neither you become very happy that I'm born, because but neither the birth nor the death is concerned with the soul. The soul is only concerned with Krishna consciousness.
Nice, very nice. So the last question, Maharaj, before we move to the Brahmastra segment. So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 13, I believe shloka number 9, if my memory serves me right. So there he says the third and fourth line, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. So today we are very fortunate through your guidance, through your words of enlightenment, we got a little darshanam of this Janma, the process of Janma. But here Krishna is saying Dukkha Dosha Anudarshanam. So beyond this episode, beyond this discussion also, how can we anudarshanam constantly see that Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, especially this Janma, what we discussed today, is actually dukkha, a source of misery?
How to see constantly that there is misery in this world? That comes when you are blessed by a sadhu kripa. It doesn't happen by one's own intelligence. So when you serve the mission of your spiritual master, he blesses with this buddhi, that this world is a place of misery. Even the most comfortable situation is actually an uncomfortable situation for the soul. So it doesn't come by one's own endeavor, one's own effort. Suppose somebody is miserable, then if he doesn't have the sadhu kripa, he thinks that I am miserable now, but tomorrow I'll become happy in this world. I'm miserable here, but once I ship my house or get a new job or get married, I'll become happy. So you'll still have the hope. But by sadhu's kripa, all the hopes are destroyed that you'll become happy in this world. There's no happiness in the material platform. This buddhi doesn't come just like that. It comes only by blessings of the sadhu. That is what Prahlad Maharaj says. He says, "Ityo padyeta." In spite of that, by one's own endeavor, nor by others' endeavor, this kind of matirna krishne paratasvatova mityo patyeta grahvratanam danta govirishatam tamishram. So he says only by sadhu kripa this is possible. This Krishna mati possible only by that, not by one's own endeavor, nor by others' effort, nor by both. So that is only way.
It's amazing how every time it circles back to Guru Kripa, Krishna Kripa. Please, the mercy of the spiritual. Yes, Maharaj, you wanted to say?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj. So, Maharaj, we'll quickly move on to our Brahmastra segment. So, it's going to be a very light-hearted. It has nothing to do with what we discussed today. I would like for you to take us through the alleys of your childhood. So, just a few questions about your childhood. I think we should not ask the sannyasi about his Purvashrama, but it's not going to be a heavy thing. It's just for fun. Just a few quick questions. So, who was a stricter parent, your mother or father?
Mother.
Oh, she was more strict. Okay. What was your favorite food item as a child?
Very difficult to say so many. Yeah, sweets, any sweets or that.
Okay.
Of course, become diabetic now. That's the only attachment I had. The diabetes removed that attachment also.
Which family member of yours had the greatest influence on you?
Mother.
Okay. What was your favorite game as a child?
Game.
Yeah, sports game.
There's no specific thing, nothing.
Okay.
Specific.
Okay. So how did you spend your time mostly in your childhood?
Mostly doing some household work. My mother used to keep me busy.
Oh, nice. So I'm sure born into a nice family, Madhva Brahmin family, many lessons you must have been learned, especially from your parents. So is there one specific lesson that you really carry with you from your childhood?
Yeah, get up early in the morning. That was one of the important lessons.
Okay.
I adhered to it. I never gave it up.
Okay. Who was your favorite teacher who had a big hand in shaping you at school?
My Telugu teacher.
Oh.
Yeah, because lot of nice poetries, explanations is to give nice poetries for there. Ramayana, and moral stories and so many things. Syllabus were all very dharmika, so much of morals. Very good explanation. That was the class which we are long to have here.
Nice, beautiful. What was your favorite subject? So favorite teacher was Telugu teacher. Favorite subject?
Favorite subject was English and mathematics were quite favorite.
Okay.
I'm good at that.
Okay. What was your childhood dream?
Dream.
What did you want to become when you were a child?
I know. Never had any dream. That was the biggest problem which my mother had.
Oh.
What do you want to become? You should study nicely. It's failing. What to do?
Who was your childhood hero?
Yeah, Hanuman was my hero, right from my lot of stories of Hanuman. Hanumanji was my favorite hero.
Mm-hmm. And your childhood best.
Movies I never watched. I never used to watch any movie.
Okay, okay.
In Andhra, they have big craze of watching movies. I was thinking, why they are going on?
Yeah.
So you say hero, it doesn't. I don't remember any of those names. And yeah, some people, friends used to talk about some heroes, but I never watched any movies.
Yeah, but no, Maharaj. I didn't ask hero in the sense of movie hero. I asked like your role model type of hero only. So Hanuman fits very well. Yeah. And my next thing was, do you remember your childhood best friend's name still?
I never had any friend only. Best friend, I don't know.
Okay. What was your fondest childhood memory?
We used to go to a lot of Tirthakshetras, Udupi, Mantralayam, and Subramanya. Once my grandfather took me to Badri. I remember those days also very profoundly.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't remember anything.
Mm-hmm. So, given that you spent most of your childhood in Tenali, that's where you grew up, any favorite place in Tenali?
My village, lot of cows were there, sleeping under the neem tree, cool breeze, and then playing around with the cows, sitting on the tractor and trying to do something with that. Those are the days, happiest days.
Okay, so nice. So nice just to hear about it. So last one, Maharaj. If you could go back and relive one day or one particular experience from your childhood, which one would you want to relive?
Every day going to temple, of course, till second stand I was in Mysore. So every day my grandmother used to take me to Srinivasa temple in Ondikapur, Mysore. And I was just not knowing that even after joining ISKCON and recently when I went to Mysore, I did some research on the temple. Who did the Prana Pratishtha, how this temple came. Then when I came to know in the history of the temple that the deities were actually Ramanuja Pratishtha. Ramanujacharya. And then one devotee, I don't know, forget his name, about a few hundred years back, couple of hundred years back, Lord came in his dreams and told, nobody is coming for darshan. Ramanuja did pratishtha of mine, and you take me to the city. So he went to the temple. It was near Melkote, the temple. Hardly anybody would come to the temple. He took the deities, and then he established a deity in Mysore, in Ontikapal. Built a temple there. That would say thousands of people come there. So I was not knowing that. I took every day till my second stand, of course. Of course, when we used to go to Mysore, every day I used to go there and then take prasad. Pongal and running around in the temple campus, then taking prasadam. That's something very special. You know, I felt that I was blessed by this Ramanuja Pratishtha. It's not a joke.
Yes.
And then he came to Mysore to bless all people. And just going and coming as if it's just another ritual. It was everyday ritual. So
you said this is what, man? Ontikapal. What is the place?
Area is known as Ondikapal. That's the place in Mysore. There is a Srinivasa Devasthana there. You can go to the Google and find out.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj, for giving us a glimpse into your childhood, and also especially thank you for nourishing our soul week after week with such a wonderful feast of Bhagavatam Katha. No matter the topic, the way you unpack the verses and the way you give us insights, it's really, really relishable. So looking forward to the next feast in the next episode. So Hare Krishna, everyone, there we go. So this was our discussion on chapter 31 of Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the 53rd episode, when we come back next week, we will discuss the next two chapters. With that, we are going to wrap up Canto 3 of Srimad Bhagavatam. So please take care and stay inquisitive, stay Krishna conscious. We will catch you very soon. Until then, Hare Krishna. So Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.